So today I thought it would be fun to make a video where I just use the Polyend Tracker from start to finish, making some sort of track sketch. Who knows? Obviously, when I'm editing this, it'll be done, but right now I haven't started. You might be able to tell if you watch my channel a lot that I'm in a new location. I have a change of scenery. I have a new studio in downtown Portland, and that is, I use studio in both versions of the word. It's a studio apartment, and it's my studio. I'm really happy with the new place, although it's definitely been an adjustment. It is still pretty awesome. Anyway, enough about that. I want to talk about the Polyend Tracker a little bit before I get started, because I really do feel like the tracker is underrated, which might sound strange if you're on YouTube because there are plenty of videos talking about how cool the tracker is, but I do think that it really is one of those things that's so much greater than the sum of its parts. And it's something I didn't realize immediately. There are creators like Ben Jordan or Freebeat who've been hip to how cool this thing is for a long time. I actually got mine at a very slight discount from Polyend about a year ago. In exchange for just making videos, not like specific videos, just make some videos. They gave me 150 off. So I think I paid about $450 for this tracker. I think I would have been totally fine paying the full price for it too. But I do always want to disclose anytime there's a discount or anything like that. But for me, it's underrated because if I look at the spec sheets, there's a few specs that I find personally disappointing. And the biggest one is that it doesn't stereo sample. You can stereo input, so you can have like a stereo device playing in parallel with it through the audio ins, but you can't sample in stereo the way you can on, say, an MPC, a machine, the OP1 field. That said, it's a relatively cheap device in some ways, although it is in the same ballpark as an MPC-1, depending on sale prices and stuff like that. That said, it's a really different type of device. I mean, other people have pointed out it's much more like a Digitact than an MPC. It's not necessarily a DAW in a box. It's a tracker, but that workflow and what it can do when you use the features it has, and I'm not going to claim to be an expert here. You might notice I have a lot of gear in my videos. That kind of makes me a jack of all trades and a master of none, to be honest. I have a lot of fun with all this gear, but there are experts for each of these devices who know so much more than I do. So if you want to learn deep, in-depth tutorial stuff, watch like EasyBot, watch, Freebeat. There are creators out there who go way deeper. I mean, Loopop, right? But if you just want to see someone make something cool and enjoy gear, I do that. I'm not the only one, but I hope I bring some value. Anyway, if you do enjoy the videos, consider liking and subscribing. Thank you to my Patreon patrons. Consider joining them. My tiers are very cheap. It's like $1, $3. It's just to help the channel keep going. All the extra content that would exist is just on my channel and on Spotify and on Bandcamp. I don't gate any content. It's just a way to help the channel. Anyway, let's make a track because this thing is underrated. In fact, as a point of context, a song I made in a video, which started on the tracker, is very likely going to be the title track for the album I've been working on for a few years. That's how much this thing has kind of turned around for me. Like I finished that track in a video and I was like, this is all right. And then I took it into Ableton and I added a few layers and I was like, oh. I sent it to my friend and he was like, you've never made anything like this. And that's because of this thing. So let's make something. I'm sure that whatever I make won't be quite as transformative as that, but tracker's underrated. Let's find out why. So let's start by making a new project. Very simple process. Go back to pattern. It's empty. I like to work at about 64, which I think I can get to like that. Cool. So let's find some samples. Let's load some samples. I have quite a few samples in here in the samples folder. I'm only using the default SD card it came with, and I do eventually want to get a bigger one. But let's get some drums, I think, first. A lot of these are from Splice. Almost all of them, I think, except for the ones that were already included. But yeah, let's, ooh, Mr. Hudson's Sad Robot Music. Actually, there's a bunch of really good stuff. Let's try a drum loop from here. Alright. Okay, yeah, I think we can work with that. So I'm going to normal import the entire thing. I'm going to go to sample playback and I'm going to go to beat slice and I'm going to auto slice. Confirm. All right. Okay, so for this one, I'm actually going to adjust sample slice start. Okay. So I like how this one shots are playing now. Now, something we're going to do, which you've probably seen before, is we're going to select every step here. We're going to fill, and we're going to do every 4 steps, random, from C2 here to F 3. I'm just choosing the highlighted options because these are my slices. Fill. And I don't actually like how that came out, so let's delete, go back up, home or shift up, and we're going to try that again, and we're going to do every 2 steps. Fill. Okay, yeah, that's something. Okay, I actually like that. So now we have some drums going, and now we can actually sample record, and one of the coolest ways to sample record is the radio. I learned this from a Ricky Tinez video, so shout out to Ricky Tinez.
When I saw that, I was like...
Okay. So now we have this sample. Oh, whoops, but we do need to save it. Gonna auto name it. Interesting. Hissing turkey, sure. Call it hissing turkey. First, we're gonna normalize it. Ah, there we go. Normalizer. Apply. There we go. Let's give it something else. Let's see how. Let's yeah, that's cool. Let's apply that. We'll probably reverse it here then. Yep, there we go. Reverse, apply. Okay, cool. See, and what I'm trying to do here is just make it as weird as possible and mess with it so much you wouldn't be like, oh yeah, that's that thing from the radio. There we go. Okay, it's a little harsh, so something else we can do here is we can apply a low pass filter. And we can send it to delay. Give it some overdrive. Reduce the bit depth. We can tune it. Okay, so let's play our drums. See, that's already pretty wild, right? Okay, so shift home, up, go into record, and then I believe it is play record. Okay. Okay. And to be clear, you can make way more normal things than what I'm making here, but okay, let's see if we can find another Hudson. Oh, we're in drums right now. Let's go vocals. A lot of vocals here.
Black California destiny. Oh, finally. Oh.
All right. We'll import this here. And we'll just cut that first part. Sure. Okay. All right, for this one, we're going to send to delay, or sorry, reverb. Okay. All right, there's something else I want to do here, which is the release should be really short. Still sounds not great. There we go. And that sounds cool. And I mean, and again, these are all just like samples, radio stuff. We're just totally mangling. Cool. All right. Shift home. I really like this. That's cool. Okay. And now we just armed the fourth track. See if there's a tonal from this that we like. Yeah, that could work. Let's import the entire thing. It's a lot of project memory, but it's fine. Okay. Send this. Okay. See what else we can do to this bad boy. What would reversing this sound like? Apply that. Okay. I think that's it. And one thing you'll get used to as you play with this is when you do real-time recording, you want to make sure it records one of these off steps. And so that's, you know, it's kind of self-explanatory, but it's when you let go of the button. I love real-time recording most things, although ironically trackers, dig attacks, these devices are actually really good for sequencing and doing a lot of sequence stuff. But I love real-time recording in most devices. And so, yeah, there's little bits of tricky parameters, but the thing I found is arming only a single track unless you're trying specifically to play chords, because every note is mono on these audio tracks. And then being really careful about when you release whatever key you're playing. Without the off, it can carry that note over, and that's why it's recording those offs. Okay, let's see if we can get another classic thing I like to do is find some kind of talk radio.
References and still collude?
Well, this is exactly the difference between illegal collusion and something we call tacit collusion.
Yes, it is. Okay. Let's change our start point to here.
Well, this is exactly the difference between...
Okay. Crop. Save. Auto name. Late orange for collusion. Oh, man. Sorry to get political, but that is hilarious. Okay. Okay. Cool. All right. Normalize. Select effect. Apply.
Well, this is exactly the difference between... Well...
Okay. So that sounds good to me. The next thing I want to do here is get a high pass filter.
Well, this is exactly the difference between illegal collusion and something we call tacit collusion.
Okay, so now we're just cutting out a bunch of that low end from that conversation. And we're going to do another beat slice. And we're going to auto slice again because it really doesn't... Okay. Okay, so in order for that to not get too annoying, I'm going to go to more and I'm going to duplicate pattern. Once I do that, the pattern length is now 128 and it's duplicated everything that's in there so far. But I'm gonna manually enter in this node data. And I want it to just, you know, I could do a random fill here and it would actually probably sound good. But I am gonna probably just actually program this in real time myself. Alternatively, you know, we talked about programming, and again, this isn't really how I do it, but if you set step jump to say 2, you could change step jump to 1, change it to 4, change it to 2, change it to 1, change it to 8, change it to 6, change it to 2. Okay. Okay, so now something else we could do. Whoopsie. All right. Something we could do here. Oh, that's fascinating. It knew to go. Oh, that's because I wasn't live recording. So it worked to record in track 5. Cool. Okay, so these two tracks are our effects. And I think something that'll be good for this is to do panning on each of these. So this is where it gets tricky because I altered my step jump. But I'm just going to play different panning directions. You know what? And yeah, I'm going to just be lazy and let it be that some of these will be center because of how we did this. And some of them are going to be missed entirely. That's funny. Okay, never mind. I can't. Oh boy. Okay, let's go back here. And what I'm doing is programming panning data. And so you're going to hear that now. Send it to delay. Let's go to master, give the whole track some space and bass boost. Lower the volume. Okay, and another fun way to use an effects slot here is for the second slot, I'm going to send to reverb. Okay, so for this first one, let's go reverb somewhere. Reverb send. Oh, I saw you. There's a lot of stuff you can do here. Okay, so yeah, record arm, reverb send. Oh boy, come on. We want reverb send, and we want it to be 68, and then nothing. And then on 32, there should be a note here. There's not, so we'll do this one, super high. And then on 64-ish,
and then on right here, and then right here, and then right here. Okay. And so yeah, we've already got, I think, a pretty interesting pattern. Now, if we were to go to song mode, you can see this is just the first pattern. If we wanted to really quickly build up pattern, we could duplicate pattern. Pattern is too long to make this up. Whoa. Okay, yeah, so we would copy pattern, go to pattern 2, more, paste pattern, more again, pattern 3, paste pattern. And then really quickly, we could then go to the first pattern, select everything in track 5, whoops, and delete. Select everything in track 4, and delete. Now, pattern 1 is. Pattern 2, we need to do the same thing with track 5. So select, chord, sorry, delete. Now, pattern 3. So now we could add a slot, and we could have this be pattern 2, add a slot, pattern 3, add a slot, pattern 3 again, and now play song. Oh yeah, gotta go up. Here we go. It gets, here we go. Anyway, I really appreciate you watching. I hope this was entertaining and informative. And there's so much more you can do. Like I said, I'm kind of a jack of all trades, master of none. But this is some of the ways I really enjoy the Polyend Tracker. Please feel free to comment any questions here below. And thank you again to Polyend for sending this with a slight discount. Thank you to my Patreon patrons. And thank you to you. Channel doesn't exist without you. You rule. Boom, 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 boom. Perfect.